These are 40 unbelievable aviation moments from my series Weekly Dose of Aviation. In this video, we've got fails, fires, collisions and more. First up is this DHL Boeing 757 that broke in half after sliding off the runway during an emergency landing in Costa Rica. The plane was forced to make the landing after its hydraulic system failed, but luckily no one was injured. This overloaded plane used every inch of the runway and still barely took off at the last second. This helicopter flew into high voltage power lines while doing a rescue exercise. Luckily they were able to recover and no one was injured. This T6 Texan had just landed when the pilot lost control. This Beechcraft Bonanza was approaching Oshkosh when it hit another plane's wake turbulence and had a very close call.
Whoa! Whoa!
The pilot managed to save it at the last second. This Boeing 737 landing in New York struck its wing into the ground. It then went around for a second attempt and landed safely with some wing damage. This Lancair LX-7 overran the runway and went through a fence onto a road where it collided with a car.
Not good. Not good.
According to the pilot, the power lever ball came off, and with the power stuck at idle, he couldn't reverse to slow down, resulting in the brakes fading. This happened at an airport in Texas, and luckily everyone was okay. This Cessna Citation couldn't stop in time and overran the runway at an airport in Texas.
Oh my gosh.
The probable cause was that the runway was simply too short for the plane to be able to stop given the wet surface conditions, and the pilot reported that he should have not accepted the trip. This plane had just touched down when it went off the runway and crashed into a parked helicopter. The pilot lost control while landing in St. Barthélemy, but luckily everyone was okay afterwards. This Lufthansa Airbus A320 suffered an engine failure during takeoff.
Whoa!
The plane was going too fast to abort the takeoff, but immediately returned for an emergency landing. Emergency services quickly responded, and luckily no one was injured. This happened at Frankfurt Airport. This American Airlines Boeing 787 was taxiing behind an Airbus A350 when an airport tug with 3 cargo containers drove between the two planes. The Airbus then added engine power to continue taxiing, which blew the containers off their trailer, and one of them was ingested by the 787's engine. This happened in Chicago, and luckily no one was injured. The nose gear of this Embraer 190 jammed and couldn't extend, forcing the crew to make a nose gear up emergency landing.
He doesn't look like he has a nose gear. Come on. Come on. No nose gear. No nose gear. There we go. There we go. In the name of Jesus. Come on. Come on. Whew. Yep. No nose gear. Here we go. Oh, yes.
The crew kept the nose up for as long as possible and was met by emergency services. This happened in the Bahamas, and luckily no one was injured. This F-15 suffered an afterburner blowout while taking off. This Indigo Airbus A320neo landed dangerously close behind an Air India A320neo still on the runway in Mumbai. Both crews claimed they were following the clearances given by air traffic control, and the air traffic controller was suspended pending further investigation. This Sky Crane firefighting helicopter was filling up water when it descended too low.
Oh shit, he got in the water!
According to the person recording, the water quantity indication gauge had failed, which caused the helicopter to get overloaded. This Beechcraft Bonanza touched down before the runway.
Oh. Man.
This person climbed on top of a plane at London City Airport as part of a climate protest. After gluing himself to the plane, he was eventually removed by firefighters and arrested. This person was just about to board when one of the engines on their Airbus A380 caught on fire.
I think that's our plane. Wow, what the hell is that?
This happened in South Korea, and luckily the fire was quickly put out and no one was injured. This ATR-72 suffered an engine fire while approaching the runway.
Whoa! Holy cow! Smoking! Oh my goodness! Whoa! It's crazy! Oh my goodness! Wow!
Airport emergency services were quick to respond, and luckily no one was injured. This was at Wellington Airport in New Zealand. This Boeing 777 was approaching London Gatwick when a TAP Air Portugal plane unexpectedly entered its runway, forcing it to go around.
Whoa, what's happening? How is he landing while he's landing on top of him? Oh, he's definitely gonna go around. What's happening? This was bound to happen.
This Piper Cub landing and taking off on top of a moving truck. one of the landing gears on this Beechcraft Baron failed to deploy. Firefighters sprayed foam on the runway, and the pilot landed safely with no injuries. This pushback tug caught on fire while pushing a Boeing 787.
Acabou de falar, foi o tanque da América. Mas foi o tanque da América que pegou fogo? Falou que foi o tanque da América no rádio. Foi o tanque da América,
E os dois lá do lado?
Chama o bombeiro. Acho que o bombeiro vai ser agora. Olha o bombeiro lá.
Luckily, fire crews were able to extinguish the fire and the aircraft was undamaged. This happened in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Watch as this plane gets struck by lightning. These people built a flying inflatable boat. This Boeing 787 was taking off from Sydney, bound for Thailand, when one of its tires burst. With its landing gear still extended, the plane had to dump fuel to reduce its weight for an emergency return. One hour and 24 minutes after takeoff, the plane landed safely. This MD-80 suffered a compressor stall while taking off from Chicago. The plane quickly returned for an emergency landing. Within 15 minutes after taking off, it landed safely. While driving in Dallas, this person saw an Airbus A380 appear to hover mid-air due to an optical illusion.
Stop on the side of the road so you can see. That is crazy.
This Boeing 777 took off from Newark Airport, heading for Tokyo, but the crew was unable to retract the landing gear. After reporting a hydraulic problem, the aircraft had to dump fuel to reduce its weight for an emergency return. The aircraft returned safely about 1 hour after takeoff. This Embraer 190 landing short of the touchdown zone at Skiathos Airport after approaching lower than usual. This C-123 was landing in a crosswind when its right wing dove toward the ground. Luckily, the pilot saved it at the last second. This Boeing 777 approaching Birmingham was forced to go around after another plane entered its runway.
That is amazing. He's gonna have to go though. The Emirates is gonna have to go though.
That's close, that, isn't it?
No, that's just too close.
He's gone around.
Oh my god!
Seen it on the runway just last minute there, look. Right, that pilot gets fined about 20 grand.
This Boeing 737 landing in Poland with almost no visibility using autoland.
Approaching minimum. Minimum. Landing. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. After the disengage.
This Boeing 757 blew one of its tires while taking off, forcing it to make an emergency landing.
Oh my god, is there one gear not down? I'll be damned, it looks like they might have cranked it down. Here we go, moment of truth. Sorry for the shakies, oh he's floating. Oh, I think he popped the tire, crap. Oh, something's wrong. Yeah. Oh my, oh, the gear's on fire. The right mains are on fire.
The plane landed safely and no one was injured. While this Harrier jet was practicing aerial refueling, the refueling hose began leaking fuel. This pilot, landing at Lukla Airport in Nepal, one of the most dangerous airports in the world, decided to abort at the last second, something that is very unusual and dangerous at this airport. This C-160 making a combat approach, also known as the Sarajevo approach. Here is a 300 horsepower plane weighing 1,000 pounds competing in a short takeoff and landing competition. This Ju-52 touched down too early in the field just short of the runway.
Pièce d'origine de Messerschmitt. Comme je l'ai dit au départ, c'est un prototype de Messerschmitt qui était construit en France, qui a été le premier prototype avec un moteur.
Luckily, it continued safely. This Airbus A321 became unstable on short final, but didn't go around.
Sorry guys, that frightened the life out of me.
And those are just some of the unbelievable aviation moments from the series. You can go watch more on my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.